Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is August 9th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. If you take a close look here, you can see these yellow lines. These are National Weather Service forecast areas. For example, this is Seattle National Weather Service. You've got Portland down to the south, which does include some portions of southwest Washington, including Cape Disappointment, Kelso, and Vancouver, Washington. If we go further south, you got Medford, Oregon. It does include northern portions of California. Check out Boise over here, I-84, moving right through the middle of it. This is Pendleton, Oregon, and this does include Ellensburg, Yakima, the Tri-Cities, and all the way towards the Cascade Crest. That's kind of the one that'll catch some people off guard. Spokane is up here, goes towards the Cascade Crest, includes, of course, Spokane, right up towards Mullen Pass. Here's Missoula, Montana as well. So I'm just kind of giving you a visual diagram of where these National Weather Service forecast areas are. So let's scroll through yesterday. You can see some thunderstorm activity here across British Columbia, and then it continues across some of the North Cascades in the overnight hours. British Columbia as well, and we've got a few strikes there right off to the west of Bellingham across some of the foothill areas, and these thunderstorms continuing on as we speak as we go through this morning here, and that's going to kind of be the theme here over the next few days. Thunderstorm potential. We've got troughing on through the extended forecast we're going to take a look at as well, and we'll look at some of the smoke drifting around the area also. Taking a look at today, here's Seattle, but I don't expect a lot of thunderstorms across the Seattle metro or anything like that. I mean, it's in the realm of possibility, but definitely across the higher terrain, the better chances are going to exist. Here's day 2, again, the Washington Cascades. And day 3, I have a hunch they're probably going to upgrade this to include some of the Cascades yet again. We'll see how that goes. No promises there. Here is day 1. Isolated dry thunderstorm potential does exist for Washington, British Columbia, and of course these storms not producing a lot of precipitation. Those lightning strikes are going to be more effective fire starters. You can see it across just east of Boise, includes Jackson, Pocatello, up towards Butte, Montana. This is day 2, kind of similar areas. If you're wondering what that orange is, that is elevated fire risk here, Elko, Nevada, up into southern Idaho. And this would be day 3, clipping some of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. So looking at Seattle yesterday, 87 degrees, 8 degrees above average, nowhere near those record highs. I actually think I remember this record high set back in 1981, 99 degrees. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff there for August 9th. But yeah, we've got a cool down coming as we go through next week. So good news on that. And the onshore flow is going to return. So we're going to start to move some of the smoke out of western portions. And I'll show you when that's scheduled to happen. Taking a look at scattered afternoon thunderstorms, Spokane, National Weather Service, lightning, gusty outflow winds. I don't know about the heavy rain or burn scar flooding. That's probably not going to be a big problem, but there is definitely the risk of new wildfire starts. Taking a look at Pendleton, Oregon, National Weather Service, the orange hatched lines here, they're mentioning best chances for isolated thunderstorms, and you can see Northeast Oregon under that as well. And again, these gusty outflow winds can spread fires rapidly if the lightning strikes do kick off any fires. So, and just a reminder, any storm out there can include deadly lightning. So just keep your wits about you. It happens to people every year. People get killed by lightning across the United States. Now, take a look at Seattle. You've got the heat advisory, and we got the red flag warning, and you can probably guess why that red flag warning is out, and that is because of that thunderstorm potential, mainly above 1,500 feet, gusty and erratic winds with any thunderstorms that do develop there, and of course, you can rapidly spread those fires here. So good stuff from the National Weather Service, Seattle. Take a look at the North American model. If we scroll through the day today, you can kind of see that thunderstorm activity ongoing right now. Picking up on that pretty well, but you'll see it kick off across the Cascades. Can't roll on off down towards Mount Rainier or the Olympic Mountains here, Lake Chelan, Wenatchee, Omak, Northeast Washington. Some of those could drift out towards, Cle Elum there or Ellensburg. Put that into motion all the way on in towards Sunday, and you see some of the thunderstorm activity. It even pops a few storms off across the Oregon Cascades here, and these move a bit further east towards Ephrata and Moses Lake, maybe Yakima, Tri-City areas, and across some of the Columbia Basin. Look at that cluster of thunderstorm activity tomorrow showing up here and towards Spokane. That would be quite interesting. That might even be worth taking a drive out there and look at that. See if we can get some blowing dust and some lightning strikes on video out there. Who knows? Maybe I will. Taking a look at Sunday as well, we're going to not quite as dramatic coverage, but we'll revisit this. You can still see a few thunderstorms potentially popping off even down across the Oregon Cascades. We'll revisit that tomorrow. Taking a look at the European ensemble mean versus the GFS ensemble mean. The European has 50 members. These are all averaged out. The GFS has 30. So if we put this into motion, and again, this is at 18,000 feet, 500 millibars, if I didn't mention that, we scroll on in through this upcoming week, and we go into Monday, and you can see both models showing that troughing right off the coastline here. So pretty good model agreement there, and kind of keeping that troughing with us here as we go on in through the mid portion of August. Really good model agreement. And again, these individual systems are things we're going to be working out as we get to the short-term forecast, but you can see that that troughing is really nice agreement through the extended forecast on both the European and the GFS. So definitely no heat dome across Pacific Northwest. Things can still change, but that's a pretty good signal for the Mossbacks here. Now take a look at the GFS. This is hot off the press. It's a 12Z run. This is the deterministic forecast. These are the initial conditions, best we understand them. This is not an ensemble forecast. Put this into motion, and you can see the troughing kind of hanging out here as we go through Monday, and then it gets reinforced a bit here, it looks like, as we go on into the following week. Yes, it does. Look at that little polar lobe right over the top of the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, fun stuff here. It'll be fun to watch this forecast evolve as we go through the next 1 to 2 weeks with that troughing potential off the coastline. Now, looking at the European model here, what I want to show you is we still have some of this offshore flow, and that's what's keeping the smoke, especially aloft across the area. I smelled it a little bit out here across some of the Puget Sound region. It's not a lot, definitely not as bad as we have been in some previous years, but we still got that onshore flow going a little bit as we go through today. Some weaker winds out there back and forth. But as we go through Saturday, you'll notice right here, Saturday afternoon, we start to kick these westerlies on a bit. You can kind of see those gusty winds moving down the east slopes of the Cascades. They get fan fires, but they also clear out portions west that are not dealing with the smoke there, because the fires are mainly across the Cascades. Smoke will drift off to the east here. That's not great news for places like the Tri-Cities and Spokane and Pendleton and whatnot, and places off towards Idaho, but it will clear out areas west. You can also see in about 5,000 feet, 850 millibars, these are the winds we're looking at. You can see the upper level low kind of spinning here. So we're going to keep some shower potential going as we go on in through next week, of course, with that upper level low still around the area. Looking at the Tri-Cities, you can see quite a bit of smoke aloft here and some smoke at the surface. This might even get worse here as we go through Saturday night. This is the high resolution rapid refresh that goes out 48 hours. Here we are, Portland International Airport. You see, as we go through tonight into Saturday, there's a pretty good layer aloft showing up here. And again, some surface smoke may be smelt at times. Seattle Tacoma looks like a pretty good layer right now above us. And you can see it continues on through Saturday before the westerlies start to kick in. And you might smell a little bit of that at the surface. Bellingham a little bit less aloft, but still a similar picture. Now, looking at the surface smoke here, you can see why you can probably smell it across some areas of western BC, western Washington, Portland. The HRSS shows a fire here, but I did not see that when I looked at the fire update, and we'll look at that map here in a moment. But you can see as we go on in through Saturday, we start to kick those westerlies on a bit. We should slowly clear out some of that smoke here west of the Cascades. Looking at what the entire column of the atmosphere looks like, vertically integrated smoke, you can see quite a thick layer of portions aloft here across the region, kind of these squirrely back and forth winds until we get to Saturday. Then you can kind of see that onshore flow start to develop as we go on in through Sunday morning. Now, if we look, I don't see that fire was out. I don't see anything out there across, towards off to the west of Portland here. But you can see we got plenty of fires elsewhere right now. You can see that is the Williams Mine fire here down towards Mount Adams, the Retreat fire. And again, we have fire potential or new fire potential here as we go through the next few days. Here's Seattle. Look at that 85 for today, cooling off a little bit tomorrow, and then you'll definitely feel the cool down as we go on through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, as we get the troughing around the region. The onshore flow returns. So I know the Mossbacks are looking forward to this here across the region. Taking a look at the temperatures for today versus tomorrow, Saturday, there's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You can see a lot of the region gets a nice cool down here. Only some 80s there on Tuesday for eastern Washington, eastern Oregon. Still Boise right around 90 degrees, however. But you see, as we scroll on through next week, we're not looking at a return to the extreme heat here across the area. This is Seattle Tacoma. You can see this would be for yesterday, Thursday. This is for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you can kind of see the troughing that may be coming as we go through the mid portion of August. Now, this is kind of curious here. They have updated this already for Friday. That's today. But you'll notice, we got lightning strike potential here, and I don't know why they don't have this, because the National Weather Service, Storm Prediction Center, does have the isolated dry out there. So not great collaboration between, the Pacific Northwest significant fire potential here, and the SPCs. But, the heads up, because there is definitely fire start potential here over the next couple of days, and it's curious that they do have that low potential here for Saturday and Sunday. So anyway, what can you do? 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, below normal signal here on the west coast. So that troughing starting to show up, and above average across Pacific Northwest. And again, we'll be checking back and see how that goes day by day. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, it's free to click that subscribe button down below. The channel is doing great. I did my first monthly recap yesterday. I'll probably put that down here in the bottom left, so you can click on that. If you have any ideas, or you want to give me some feedback and let me know, because it's going to be kind of a moving project. I'll be updating as I go. I'll try to make it more streamlined and make it a little bit more interesting. I just wanted to get the first one out, and we can work on that. But anyway, otherwise, have a good day out there. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.